Hello guys, DJ Parson here, and before this game starts I just wanted to let you know that when this video uploads I will be live streaming some Through the Ages games on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/djparson. So if you're watching this video around the time that it released, then head on over to Twitch and we can have a nice game live, and you can chat with me and we can discuss the game. So I hope I will see you there. So the game that you're about to see was also recorded on my stream, and it was a really interesting game that not many people saw because not many people viewed me at that time, but I wanted you to see the game as well, so I uploaded this game on YouTube now. So let's hope it's a nice match. Here's first turn, I'll see what he wants. Yeah, probably will take the pyramids, which would leave me with Engineering Genius or Aristotle, depending a little bit what else. There's library, so okay, he takes Acropolis. That's interesting. That means I can take pyramids and Aristotle, which isn't a bad combo. And that will mean he can take Engineering Genius. But I still think that's not bad. Aristotle and pyramids. So we'll do that. Now he can take one of these. I'll wait. Yeah, I can wait for one of these three as well. Interesting, really, that he takes Acropolis over the pyramids. And Engineering Genius, of course. Hippocrates builds a mine and Frugality, okay. This means there's Engineering Genius from H1, that is really nice. Maybe I just take that and build one mine, and next turn I can finish the pyramids. Don't have to play Aristotle yet, but getting the 4th civil action really soon is pretty nice. Quite expensive to take that for 3, but the rest is like rich land and urban growth. These are just so much worse than Engineering Genius because it gives 3 resources. Urban growth and rich land only give 1, so paying 3 for Engineering Genius definitely not a problem. Then next turn I finish the pyramids. You can play Aristotle, maybe pick up circuses. There's Michelangelo in play, but now Pierre de Coubertin. Yeah, I don't think I want to play immigration right now. Don't have to play politics. So as I said, finish the pyramids first. And play Aristotle. We could take just the Great Wall. I mean, it's pretty nice. But also really expensive. Maybe I think I will increase population and don't need bread and circuses or theology right now. And then I want to stock up on some nice techs. And it's really nice having the pyramids. And together with Aristotle means I skipped my second philosophy, but I get the science from Aristotle now. Development of settlement. Yeah, I probably want to get those knights. Jan Zitska also pretty strong. I have this tactic already, so can definitely go for him. But I guess he also wants to swap his leader pretty soon. So will be interesting if he takes Jan Zitska or not. Probably wants to finish his Acropolis now and build another lab. Irrigation, finishes that, rich land. Okay, and plays the tactic. Not a big fan of playing the tactic if you don't fulfill it yet. I'm gonna still skip my politics. Increase population for free, take the knights. What else do I want? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Janzitska. I think he's really strong. Taking the knights. I think I should probably think about, yeah, building one lab. One is just too little over the long run. I can take frugality or, yeah, maybe swordsman and masonry, gaining me additional science with Aristotle. So yeah, stocking up. Don't have to play Janzitska right now. Doesn't give me that much right now. Can still keep Aristotle for a little bit. Maybe next turn I can swap those. Get rid of these aggressions. Don't need them right now. I would have hoped that I get the medieval army. That's pretty strong. This one, the medieval army, that's really strong with Janzitska, because you can fulfill that 2 times easily, get 2 culture production, really a lot of strength. I mean, this is also not too bad, the phalanx, just need 1 knight and 2 farms to fulfill that, because Janzitska allows me to use workers on farms as infantry or artillery in the tactics. They don't give strength, but they can fulfill the tactics. He takes Nostradamus, Urban Growth. Okay, goes up to another warrior. Now there's Theocracy. It's also really nice. Don't think... I mean, I can play new deposits. I think I will do that. Knowing a little bit of information what is in there. Development of Warfare. Okay, this is not the greatest card for me. But I mean, I can just increase population and be fine again. And then taking Code of Laws and can immediately go for that. Yeah, I think I also want irrigation. And all the while I'm getting science for that, taking all of these. Can also go for irrigation and upgrade once. And this guy can also just go for the Legion, also not a problem. But with a lot of food I can go for 2 more knights and then fulfill this tactic 2 times even with Janzitska. Don't have to play him yet, maybe next turn I can. I mean, I don't have that much science anymore. It will be hard to go for Theology or Theocracy next turn, but also don't have to do that. I really want to keep one of these colonization cards, so getting rid of immigration doesn't seem to be the best for me right now. Don't have any happy faces. And yeah, scientific breakthrough, I'm at 2 and he's at 2 as well. Will be interesting to see if he goes for Theocracy. Of course he has to pay less science for that with his Acropolis. And the monarchy is also still in. He probably wants to go for that. He will definitely play Nostradamus now, because Hippocrates gives you 3 yellow cubes. These things here. But only 3, so right now he doesn't give him anything anymore. So he definitely wants to swap him. And then what else? Probably wants to upgrade his food production. Maybe also goes for another warrior to go up to quite a lot of strength. And then the swordsman and knights, really important techs. Will be interesting if he goes for that. Katie has a question in the chat: do you prefer theocracy or monarchy generally? Generally is really hard to say in through the ages, because there's no such thing as generally. Monarchy is overall probably a little bit stronger, but it costs more, and the additional civil action depends on what else you have. For example, I have permits and Code of Laws, so I'm already at 6 civil actions. So 1 additional civil action for monarchy isn't as important as, I think, 1 culture, 1 strength and 1 happy face from theocracy. So my position right now, where I have already 2 additional civil actions, I would prefer theocracy. so I think I can take that next turn. Thallium will play politics, the development of agriculture, so I can even increase strength 2 times. And me as well, can do that 2 times, can... Yeah, I think going for 1 knight and then go for Jansitska as well means I don't have that much science anymore. So I will have to see. Maybe I can pick something else up with Aristotle. Question is if I will take theocracy then. But I think in my position it's pretty nice. I need 1 happy face eventually from some source. So that would be nice. So he takes both swordsmen and the knights. And he's only at 4 selections. So that is really nice. Now the scientific breakthrough. I don't think I want to do that right now. I don't know what he put under here. If he plays politics next turn, he won't be the weakest. So I don't want to push the event stack forward right now. So I'm going to skip the politics. Increasing population twice is probably the right move. I have to pick up 2 things so I can develop the knights if I want to go for the knights. But I think I do. Can pick up theocracy. Could also go still for iron. If I go for iron and then the knights, or first go Jansitska, because the age will end, so I have to swap eventually. I'll have to swap this turn anyway. Then go for the knights. I can build 1 and go for the phalanx. And maybe I can even go for the revolution of theocracy next turn, because I will have happy face problems. But next turn I can play the revolution, build another knight, fulfill the tactic again, and that seems really nice. So I think I like it. I'm stronger than him right now, which is good. I have a problem with science, so going for the revolution really saves me quite a lot of science. So yeah, that's definitely an option. I think I'm in a good spot for that. Okay, each draws 3 military cards. And here the medieval army a little bit late. I mean, I can still go for that. Can swap 1 warrior for a knight at some point. That's the question if I want to do that. With Jansitska it's also really nice like this. And eventually when I lose Jansitska I will still have 2 warriors, 2 knights, and then I can still go for the medieval army. So really nice that I draw that, gives me quite a lot of options. But don't have to go for that immediately. Like I said, if I go for the revolution and then 1 more knight next turn, I will have 2 armies, and then Jansitska will produce 2 culture from that. So that should be enough. Now green, what does green want to do? Knights and swordsmen. Yeah, he put himself in this position. Quite a lot of resources and not that much else. And 3 warriors. I don't really like that, because now you have to again spend quite a lot of military actions, which he doesn't have. He has to either upgrade those or he's stuck with these warriors. Whereas I can just build the knights. Okay, so he goes for the swordsman and upgraded foot and just builds a new swordsman. So he wants to be the strongest, and he is the strongest right now, of course. So I don't think I want to play politics. I just have 1 card in here that I know what it is. The rest could be Foray, Raiders, Uncertain Borders, Border Conflict. There's so many cards in H1 which are strength dependent. So I will definitely want to skip my politics. Yeah, so now the question is, if I don't go for the theocracy, revolution, and the knight, what else would I do? And there's not that much. I mean, I could take some nice cards, but also I can only take 2, like yellow cards. because then I will have the hand limit. So I think this is really nice turn. I wanted corruption to switch to the government with the revolution. Goes for the knight, putting me at 13, so I'm the strongest and he's the weakest, even with Nostradamus. I produce additional culture, 3 even, 2 from Jansitska and 1 from Bureaucracy. And then, yeah, next turn I can maybe stock up on yellow cards. Would be better if these yellow cards were a little bit further back, so I could grab those next turn. But I don't think there's really anything else I can do this turn. I definitely want to keep the medieval army for now. The aggression, I mean, he only has 2 military actions, so if he doesn't do anything I can maybe get the aggression through. Knowledge of the Ancients, yeah, maybe get rid of these, even though I want to probably keep one of the green cards, maybe the Scientific Breakthrough. I have no idea if I will need these colonization cards. So the question, I could also skip, get rid of the aggression and keep another colonization card. Because yeah, if I play aggression on him he will have 3 defending from Nostradamus again. So it's pretty unlikely, so I can get rid of the aggression. Keeping 2 of these cards. If he played a colony, when he did take cartography, so that is nice, so that I can keep 2 of those and even drawing a new one. So the question is what he wants to do. He's still only at 2 military actions, so he can't really go and upgrade a lot of his units, or he won't be drawing any cards. And it's really important to draw cards in H2 for the nice tactics. These are all so strong. Or not all, like the conquistadors are not that strong, but especially the classic army, mobile artillery and fortifications are, if you draw one of those, that's super important. So going into H2 with only 2 military actions, and he has to spend quite a lot of those to upgrade his units. Not the best position. And he goes for cartography. Okay, so it's pretty likely that there are colonies in the deck. So now the question becomes, what do I want to do about that? Also the new deposits that I know of. Can't really... yeah, I can't go for iron this turn, so that doesn't change anything. So do I play something? Maybe I play the Scientific Breakthrough. I'm the strongest after all. Maybe he has 1 or 2 colonies in here. And then also something strength dependent. And the Scientific Breakthrough, knowing that it's in the deck, makes, for example, alchemy better for me. And now the new deposits, okay. Sadly I can't spend that many resources, because I can't develop anything, just the masonry. I can upgrade one of my farms. And what else can I do? Can't develop anything, sadly. And I will have corruption like this. Maybe first start off with taking what I need to take. And knowing that the Scientific Breakthrough is in here now makes the alchemy not bad. 2 science is not that much in the long over the long run. So maybe I will take alchemy. And then yeah, the corruption is a little bit of an issue. Could just go and build 1 religion. But I also have to see that I don't lose the cannons, really want those. But I have to take urban growth and patriotism. And these 3 cards will be under the axis, and the cannons will be guaranteed that I get one of those cannons next turn. So I think this is the way to go. And it's not the best to go for this religion, but if I don't go for that, then I will have corruption and lose the resources anyway. And like this, at least I am safe from stuff like rebellion, where I would lose civil actions for each discontent worker. So yeah, I think that's good. And then for turn, definitely keep all of my colonization cards, because it's pretty clear that some colonies under the deck. And since he has colonization force, I can get rid of the wealthy territory. And probably also the immigration, because I want to still keep this tactic, want to keep all of my colonization cards. Yeah, keep all of that. Next turn. Okay, sadly I didn't draw any new green cards, so I can't play politics next turn. But I draw a new colonization card, meaning I have quite a lot of colonization force. So if it's a nice colony, can send away one warrior. Don't need those necessarily anyway if I go for the medieval army. And then I can grab that colony away from him. He especially went for cartography. So if he doesn't, if he opens up a colony and the colony then goes to me, that's really nice. What does he want to do? Also doesn't have quite a lot of science. 2 is really not a lot. And he has the same problem as me, corruption. Can't develop anything. Taking a wonder and taking Taj Mahal without getting it for free is pretty feels that, man. And Taj Mahal generally not that good. And he will still have corruption because he doesn't have enough actions to finish that. Ocean Liner Service, yeah, that's really good for him. He can go for 1 step, will still have corruption. But of course Ocean Liner Service is pretty strong, especially this early. Now sadly I can't play anything. So maybe I should have kept one of those green cards. But it's pretty unlikely that I don't draw any. Okay, so next turn he will finish the Ocean Liner Service. That's pretty nice for him. So yeah, I have to skip the politics. So I think going for alchemy now, really nice. And he will also skip the cannons. That's a nice side effect. You won't be having cannons. So going for 1 alchemy and another one. Don't have to increase population, definitely will take one of those cannons. Yeah, Darwin not that great for me. Nobel would be perfect. The others not that great really. What else do I want to take? I could increase population, because if I guess I will take Rich Land, but then my hand is full. So with my last action I will just increase population. Really want some way to get happy faces. Maybe I will go for organized religion. Don't really have the resources for opera, so I'll have to see about that. One of the side effects from Aristotle, no, from not from Aristotle, from from Aristotle, is that I have still quite a lot of H1 cards in hand that I basically took to gain the science. Like Masonry, I didn't take Masonry because I wanted it, but because I wanted to get 1 science from taking it. Oh, I have to be careful, I don't have that much time left. So I have to play it a little bit faster. Have to keep that in mind. Can't talk that long in these blitz games. And they are the medieval army. The classic army, I mean, that's really nice. Question is if I will play that, because green can also go for that. Maybe I will wait a little bit and hope that I draw a tactic with cannons in them, because green can't go for those, because he didn't get the cannon. And he finishes, he takes Republic. Yeah, Republic not bad, it's still quite a while off. It's a little bit cheaper for him because of Acropolis. So yeah, I definitely have to play a little bit fast. The crime wave, yeah, we'll probably play that. Rebellion, yeah, sometimes it costs you. But good is, he loses 2 civil actions, I lose 2, but I have a lot more, so it's not that impactful for me. Yeah, it's pretty late to go for iron, but I have to develop something. Don't want to go with swordsman, so iron. I can upgrade 2 of those. And then I can also take efficient upgrade for the last one next turn. And then it's really nice. Could have waited for coal, but have to do something with this turn. Could also take engineering genius, but I will be missing out on Louvre. So taking efficient upgrade to upgrade my iron next turn is really nice. So yeah, I guess I can get rid of the medieval army now that I have the classic army. And then this autonomous territory, because again he has 2 colonization force, so I don't want to be ceding colonies. It will be interesting to see if he plays politics, because one of the side effects of Nostradamus is that you score 3 culture when playing an event, and he does. And there is the strategic territory. I would definitely bid all of my cards, but would I bid a knight? Yeah, probably. Strategic territory, quite good. Drawing new cards, maybe drawing some nice tactics. Would be nice if I get it just for 1 warrior, but I would be able to send away the knight as well. And I have to, sadly, send away the knight. But still pretty nice. Drawing a new card even. No tactic. But yeah, I'm fine with the classic army. Because he has to go for the knights, he has 4 swordsmen. So it's pretty hard for him to transition into the tactic, even though he will have quite a lot of population with this ocean liner service, of course. So maybe it's not the best move to give him the classic army, because the classic army needs quite a lot of population, but not that many resources, and he will have exactly that, a lot of population with his ocean liner service. And even builds another swordsman. Don't like that. And there's Nobel, we'll definitely go for him, just to take it away from him. And really interesting that he went for the organized religion, which means that he can't go for Republic next turn. But I'm the weakest, so I'm gonna skip politics. Definitely take Nobel. If I go for Nobel now, I can wait 1 more turn. If I go for him now, I'm 12, but less culture production. I mean, I can do that. Yeah, gaining additional science is more important than culture, I think. So I like that. And go for iron. And developing swordsman right now, so I don't forget about it. Really important to have those if I want to go for the classic army. And then with nationalism is really strong, can defend me from any wars. I will have corruption, but I can increase my strength with building swordsman 2 times. But I want to do that before I swap my leader, because I can use one of Jan Zizka's military actions, then play Nobel and still have 3. And so I end up with 2 military actions at the end and not only 1. And then taking with nationalism and don't have corruption, so that is nice. Terrorism, it's pretty close. I have 20 culture and he has 23. I have to play fast, get rid of iconoclasm, aggression and aggression, and the terrorism. Not sure if I should keep terrorism or politics of strength. We're so close so that it can't ever be sure which side of the terrorism I will be on. If you don't know, terrorism is a card where the civilization with the least culture points can destroy one urban building of the other. So we are both really close, 23 against 22. So if I play that, I have no idea if I will have less or more culture than him. Now it will be really interesting to see if he plays military, if he plays politics, because he's not the strongest. So if he doesn't play something, it's pretty clear that this last card has something to do with being the strongest, like foray. because he is the strongest, but also not the weakest because of Nostradamus bonus 3 for events. So it will be interesting to see if he goes for that. He goes for a revolution of the... Okay. He goes for even more swordsmen. So ending up with so many swordsmen. Interesting move, definitely. So, but that basically tells me that I don't want to go for the politics, because he didn't do that and went for even more strength. I mean, yeah, I still have to concern myself with happy faces. But there's organized religion and team spots left. This just means I can't go for any of that this turn. I can't increase population. I can, of course, but that doesn't give me more population. Still have one patriotism from H1 left that I probably want to play this turn. I mean, you can also build another lab. That solves a lot of problems. And then maybe just taking strategy and revolutionary idea. This means I'm the weakest. But I don't think that's too bad necessarily. I have strategy and revolutionary idea. These are really important cards. So I think I like that. And then getting rid of, yeah, probably both of these cards. Also take a look at what the leaders from H3 will be. Churchill, Maya, Gandhi. Yeah, not the best ones to work together with my labs. Maya, of course, a little bit if I get computers early. Of course, the question is if, but I mean, he doesn't really have the best military setup. Just the swordsman, that's not going to be that strong in H3. And I have the classic army, can go for that, can go for something with the cannons. Sadly, I again didn't draw like the perfect one would be the Napoleonic army. Could go for that, he can't, so that would be perfect. So now the question also is if he has enough, or if he has politics in hand, if he can even play that. Also, he's just at 3 resources, no yellow cards in hand. He can take some now because now he has Republic. Finally. So I think he should have played a little bit differently. He went for the revolution of the Republic with Acropolis that he has. So Acropolis makes it better if you change your government peacefully and not the revolution. So he didn't really use Acropolis well. So really curious choice. He goes for what? Without having the coal, so I can just take that away from him. So I didn't play politics again, so I will also skip it. So yeah, my goal probably is taking away coal, getting some happy faces and being stronger than him. Stronger I can do with strategy, but I'm still not stronger. And now what else can I do? I mean, could go for team sports. Still means not that I'm stronger, but if I take away coal, I think that's the most important part. So you can't use James Watt for anything. So this is basically a must do. This will mean I have corruption, I'm not the strongest. Has a lot of downsides taking the coal, but I think it will have more downsides for him. Because now he has an H2 leader, which can't do anything with. Maybe if he gets an early oil, then this would be bad. But I can't let him take coal now. So yeah, we'll do like that, have corruption. Not the biggest problem, maybe keep prosperity. Get rid of these cards. Prosperity, pretty good for me now that I have the arena. And also drawing a war, and I'm picked up architecture, really nice. Now he can go for mechanized agriculture, but that's not what he wants. He has Acropolis, and the mechanized agriculture is not what he wants. Now he finally... okay, it was a vast territory the whole time. Which isn't... it's pretty nice. We both have our population under control, so it's not like it's crazy. I definitely would send away all of this 7, but not more really. Can't afford more. We have to see how much he has. Still can't win it. Nice. Does it really matter which one I send away? Not really. So like this, win that one. Now I have even more population. So the question is, how do I transition from this position where I have a lot of production of everything, nice food, nice resources, nice science, how I turn that into culture. And we see here the scientific breakthrough is the first card. That is also pretty nice for me, because I produce 8 and here only 2. Maybe he goes for scientific method now, but I think he should really go for upgraded religion. Could be very punishing for him if he doesn't, and I mean, maybe he had it. What am I looking for? I think I had it. The emigration, there it is. If he would lose half of his discontent workers and would lose 2 workers to that, that would be rough. So yeah, he does go for the religion and not for science. That's really nice, and he goes for even more swords. Okay. So now I think it's pretty safe to go for the classic army. He also lost his knights. So if I take the tanks, he can't go for the classic army at all. Can't have any cavalry. Yeah, I could play prosperity or impact of architecture. I think I will go with that. It's pretty nice for me. It will be even better if I go for computers or something. And yeah, getting 8 additional science. Don't want to go for coal. Yeah, probably want to increase population twice. Then go for with nationalism. Maybe I don't take these cards away. They're really expensive for him. And then build these 2. And for this tactic, making me stronger. Can also go for strategy. Still have corruption. Maybe I can delete the religion and put that into arena as well. And then at some point I can even go for the wars if I get the air forces. And then this worker at Team Sword's definitely better than on religion. So I think I like that. Drawing 2 cards even will be interesting if he goes for military theory. But he has to be super careful with what he spends his science on. Because he anyway has 12. Probably wants to go for scientific method. I mean, he has 2 breakthroughs at least, and that's nice for him. We'll have to see. Got 2 wars on hand now. Can basically... yeah, let's say I didn't draw new impacts. But if he doesn't take Air Force, I think I can just go for war with the Air Force. And what can he do? Build more swordsmen. And that's about it. I mean, he has military build-up in hand, which is nice for him. But also he needs the military theory for military actions. And yeah, again, if also wants oil probably, but if he goes for oil, he can't go for military theory as well. If he goes for oil, Can he upgrade once? No, can't even go for 1 oil this turn. So he's in a rough position. Maybe swaps to Churchill now. I mean, Watt doesn't give him anything, so going for Churchill this turn could be a good move. He has quite a lot of civil actions with Republic, of course. Can also see him going for civil service to increase that even more, but most importantly he needs military theory. I think this is a must pick. Air Force is a want pick, maybe must, and then he doesn't have money civil actions left. Also he needs to still concern himself with happy faces. And these swordsmen are just so inefficient. 7 swordsmen. Not the greatest. Also so hard to transition into anything useful. And when I take away the tanks, tanks are also basically a must take for him, because else I take them and he's shut out of basically any tactic from... Yeah, I mean he can still go for this one, the positional and the entrenchments, if he gets the rockets. Yeah. For myself, I think I want democracy, or yeah, fundamentalism and communism, pretty good as well. Would take any of these, get some additional civil actions. Edge 3 theocracy, even with 2 additional civil actions, starts to be not enough. So I would definitely take a new new government form. Doesn't really matter what. And I'm at 25 science, so definitely enough. Also having revolutionary idea in hand. So yeah. Oh, and he probably also wants to take revolutionary idea and reserves. Yeah, he wants to take basically the whole card row. Seems to be a pretty complicated turn. Yeah, and also all this time with us, not just 3 resource production, starting to get rough. Especially if you don't have the civil actions to spare to take reserves and play those if you have so much stuff you need to take, because I mean he didn't really take anything. He has just the swordsman, no other developed military tech, just the organized religion and 1 cartography, so not a whole lot. So I will have to see. Yeah, really taking his time. 2 minutes left. I hope he plays, but he's online the whole time. Yeah, it goes for Churchill and the tanks. Yeah, so it doesn't get military theory, but goes for 2 tanks. I think this means I can't really go for war, and I have to skip the politics. But I will definitely take away the military theory for him and take the Air Force. Also he couldn't take revolutionary idea or reserves. Yeah, going for Air Force. Probably, yeah. And I also want these reserves and revolutionary idea. I also want to be the strongest. But that would mean I have to delete something. Do I want to do that? It's quite expensive, everything that I have. But it really looks like he wants to go for military. And getting these 2 tanks and then 2 more, he can go for the classic army, so I definitely have to prepare for that. And I maybe even should take reserves and revolutionary idea, but then I have corruption. I'm just missing a little bit of food now. Yeah, I think I can go for these reserves. I could also delete one of these mines and go for the Air Force, having no corruption. I mean, if I don't do that, I will have 2 corruption, so these aren't producing anything anyway. So it doesn't matter if I delete these and have no corruption, or if I do have corruption. So I think it doesn't change that much. So I think this is fine. Staying at 4, still more than him, having reserves now, and being stronger than him. Hopefully there was some nice impacts. I mean, I'm only at 1 culture production now, but the impact of science should be really good. And I can also just go and grab Gandhi and then forget about the military. A bit of competition, yeah, not that good with all of his tanks. But yeah, Gandhi can also save me. He can't get enough for war, even with just 2 military actions. He can't go for war anyway, and it's pretty unlikely that he will draw one. So maybe I don't even have to go for Gandhi, because he can't declare war anyways. And before he can do that, he has to draw that and has to get communism or fundamentalism. And even then, I mean, this turn he has to copy my tactic, costing 2 military actions, so he won't be drawing anything. So I don't think I have to be afraid of him. Maybe I can just take Sid Meier next turn. I mean, that could also be too greedy. I also don't... Okay, he copies that. Increases his 4 unhappy workers. And I'm the strongest again. And the impact of science will definitely be very good for me. So we'll play that. The arms industry, okay, gaining some additional resources. So do I want to go for Gandhi? And Gandhi just gives me 2 culture, which also isn't bad. And makes me very, very safe. I mean, Gandhi will probably save this, make it so that I can't lose this game anymore. The only way I see myself losing is if he somehow finds a way to declare war. Like with air forces, he has enough resources, so taking Gandhi makes me safe from that. And right now I'm even the strongest, so that is nice as well. Now to get the Nobel Prize, I mean, can go for some of these, can take computers, go for that. I don't have to go for the Nobel Prize necessarily. We have corruption as well. Can also just go for the cannons to get the 4 culture from the Nobel Prize. Yeah, it's not too bad. And corruption is okay, I think. And can get rid of these wars. Can't declare them anymore anyways with Gandhi, because I can't play aggressions or wars. Impact of population, pretty good that I draw that and not he, because with his oceanized service, of course, he has quite a lot of protection. But also pretty interesting that he has so much population that he will have more food consumption than he can produce at some point. I mean, he will gain 1 back from Procrates still. But yeah. And right now I even have 1 more culture than him, which is not good because of the endowment of the arts. So it will be interesting if he does play politics. So maybe I shouldn't even have gotten the Nobel Prize. I'm not sure. Yeah, but I don't see a lot of ways where I can lose. And the Empire State Building is not good for him. 0 against 28. So I could even go for that, but I would need a little bit more resources. And the other wonders on United Nations, he also doesn't really have the resources for that. Also, there's quite a lot of corruption. And with this lack of I mean, you can go for fundamentalism now, but okay, goes for movies to get some culture production going. Since I'm still the strongest. Now the impact of competition is still not that great for me. So maybe just play the prosperity to gain 2 culture. Also I'm the strongest, so maybe I get some additional bonus. Like crime rate. Vast territory. Okay. Yeah, I would take that, but I don't have to. I can just send it like this. I'm feeling pretty confident because of all the impacts are only played by me. And he doesn't have any idea what that is. If I go for computers, I will gain more from the impact of architecture. And he wins the colony. Can even go for democracy with my revolutionary idea. Produce even more culture. So that is pretty nice. Yes, so even send away 2 swordsmen. Okay. So yeah, I guess revolutionary idea with democracy. The Empire State 17, I will have corruption. So next turn will be my last. So yeah, I guess I'm finishing this wonder. Can I do that? I will have 15 plus 4, it's 19, minus 2 is 17, and I need exactly 17. So I'm going to take that. And the last, can't spend any resources, but can take revolutionary idea and multimedia maybe. I will have the corruption, but I will have enough. Hopefully I didn't do my math wrong. Can again get rid of all these wars. I'm still the strongest, so if he plays some impact, he still gets the crime wave. And with this last turn, you also can't do all that much. Bit of balance, better for me than him, so I can play that next turn. Nice that it was some impact where I'm better than him. Competition is now the same, so that could also be okay. And the population, I'm really happy that I draw that and not he. Yeah, he doesn't have any impacts in here. Culture, we are basically the same. And producing basically the same, but yeah, with those impacts I have the upper hand. And also I will finish this wonder. I will score quite a lot. I mean, I could destroy this wonder a little bit for me. So maybe I shouldn't even have taken that, but waited for the United Nations, but that's also not really better. Like if he builds one mine, then I don't have the most resource production anymore. strength and science he can't beat. And what else am I first in? A resource, strength and science. So I can destroy one of those, but then I still get 14 culture from that. Which definitely is still enough to beat him. So yeah, I think in the end it came down to him wanting to go for wars. I felt it was a little bit weird with all his swordsmen. Gave him a really weird position. Can just play, goes for one more movies. Okay. So he will end up at not 62, but I can play the bit of balance. Get the crime wave on him, even losing 3 culture. Yeah, I know all the impacts, so I don't have to go for developing new technologies anyway. And then going for the reserves. And then finish that. An additional 21. And then there's really nothing I can do. I can increase one population, but doesn't matter. So yeah, this will be all I can do. End the turn. And see the end scoring with all the picks that I played, so not the biggest surprises here. Science 10 for me, balance 8 and 4, and architecture 7 and 8. So in the end, architecture not that good, but definitely enough to win this game. 30 more than him, so not too close, but also not the highest culture score. Was a very not necessarily military heavy game, just yeah, also not too low eco. I don't know, like in the end there just wasn't any culture to really produce, but yeah, pretty interesting game and pretty close, to be honest. So I hope you enjoyed that.